Okay.
Record. Why were we being recorded?
Because how can I do an interview, Ash,
I didn't
without
even know this was an interview.
it's an interview. Yes, it's an interview.
Okay.
It's an interview. So, like I said, you okay?
Yeah.
So yes, it's like I said, it's just an interview with my little show, Elite Culture, just wanting to, have a voice, just continue to educate, speak on topics, and just really create a platform. You know what I mean? For those who's hoping to make it to the next level, those who are at that next level, to be able to encourage and to give wisdom down to those who are seeking to be there, and just yeah, have fun. Really, at the end of the day, it's been a while since I seen you.
Oh, for sure.
How is work going?
Oh, it's good. I like it so far. And just being able to like be in that setting, it's good for me personally. I don't know, like seeing people excited about fitness and everything. It's like motivating.
Yeah, are you working out? Are you getting a chance to get in there?
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm the type that likes to like be alone in the gym, so I try to get in there early before everybody else or just stay after, like late.
Okay. Okay.
But
So
it's fun.
Ashley, so of course everybody probably don't know who you are, and so I would like for you just to share a little bit of your background and where you're at. Of course, Ashley Payne, which I know I didn't get to coach against you, or what I mean, when you was in high school. I think I came after you had left,
Yeah.
so I never had a chance to get to actually watch you play or coach against you or anything like that. But just going back to Oli, which that's where my little brother and sister graduated from, and to see your name on all these plaques, I was like, okay, well, I guess she was really the truth then. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So tell me some of your stories, I guess, like I said, just share your background as a hooper, as a young lady.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't really start playing basketball till seventh grade when I went to Fairview. I was more like a soccer girl. Like I played soccer since third grade. So basketball is kind of like
Okay.
my season where I want to just stay in shape. And I just know that like when I started playing, like I really enjoyed watching basketball, but I wasn't like never felt like I was good. Um so
Okay.
yeah, so junior high was like where I started started like to play and stuff, and the whole environment just I'm extremely competitive, so I felt like I could be way more competitive in basketball because I think it's a little more physical than a lot of different like other sports I would play. Like I did volleyball, track, like being able to, kind of like push and shove other girls is fun for me because I always like, grew up and I was wrestling my brother and stuff like that. So that was fun. And then so from there, I just remember my ninth grade years when Coach Shaw started coming down to the junior high, and she wasn't recruiting because she already knew I was coming to Olympic, but it was more like she was excited to have me come up and like just having someone like I don't know, I never like I said, I was still playing soccer, so basketball is like my second sport. So she was just really excited for me to come up, and I started, I think, my freshman year, or no, sophomore year. Yeah, so I was on varsity, like, and I started, and I was just like, this is different because, like, I didn't think I was good still. Like, I think I was just an athlete, so an athlete and competitive. It wasn't until like my junior year, and one of my teammates actually told me like her dad told her that he thinks I'm gonna go play college basketball, and that's when my mind was
Oh wow.
just like wrapped around that idea, and it's like, wow, I can really play Like someone thinks I can play, and like it just changed my perception on everything. That's when I actually started like um, looking to work out like outside of the season because I was just showing up kind of thing. Like soccer, I played select soccer since I was in elementary school. So
Okay.
um, playing travel basketball wasn't, I had no idea what that world was like. And that's when I like my friends or my opponents that I played against in high school, like Kristen Brown, she went to North Kitsap, and like Sawyer from Bremerton, like they would just be
Okay.
like, Ashley, you need to join our team. Like, so I was on Puget Sound Elite for like a little bit, but then we all like went to Total Package. And so I
Okay.
played Total Package for like a year, my senior year. But it was just different. It was like that was when I started traveling and playing like AAU, and um, it was interesting, and it was also very intimidating because I was just around with so many girls like that have been playing for so long. And I mean, I felt like I was talented, but I was just like, still, I don't think I'm good enough. um,
God.
and um, yeah, and I just remember like my senior year, that's when I started getting a lot of attention from like local colleges type of thing, like community colleges, because I got invited to like the West Sound All-Star game.
Okay.
And I think there was like coaches there, they're talking to me. And but what happened? Oh yeah, it was at the All Star game too. Like some of them reached out to me, and I was just like overwhelmed. I didn't really know how to go about that whole process. It was just more like just super unprepared for like the recruiting process. And people were like, obviously, I was just shooting for the stars. And it's like, I don't want to go to a community college. Like, if I'm going to go to school, I want to go like to a big school and stuff like that. And like, but none of them were looking at me. So I was just kind of like, wow, discouraged. But then my when I was a junior, I had a senior named Shannon Jackson. Shannon Jackson went to Umpqua Community College,
Okay.
and that's how I think Umpqua reached out to me, because Shannon went to Umpqua, and also Sam Thornton went to Umpqua. So
Okay.
like a lot of Olympic girls went there, and that's how like Dave Strickland from Umpqua got in touch with me, and which is in Oregon. And um, yeah, I think I was just ready to kind of just go a little far away from home. It was not that far, but still a little far for me. Um, and when I visited the campus, it was just like I fell in love with the campus because it was just, I love nature in that area. It's very um, rural. Like you're gonna see like tractors and
Oh yeah.
farming, all that stuff around there. But like the water and the nature around the school is just beautiful. And I just loved how it was like outdoors. The every building was just like, it was like a park kind of thing. So yeah, I fell in love with that school. I think I really only visited Umpqua, and I just like loved it. And I also really liked the coach, and the fact that he was so accredited. Like he basically is always top like three in the, I don't know what they call it now, like in,
In whack. Was
yeah,
it
the NY.
still? Yeah.
I think, yeah, they just spelled it different. The NWAC. So he's like one of the best junior college coaches in the nation.
Oh
And I'm
wow.
just like, okay. And then also in his office, when I, talked to him one on one, I just saw all these plaques on the wall that he like had all these All Americans. I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
I want to be one of those. Like I told him from day one, like I want to be that. And he's like, okay. And then my first 2 years, like I was freshman of the year, and I was an All American. Um, I was MVP both years. Like it
Wow.
was just a great experience. It definitely got my confidence up. And I actually got some like people who wanted me to transfer my first year, but like I just felt like I still like the recruiting process was too much for me, like doing it on my own. So like I feel like I have to, stay here. I can't just leave.
Right.
Um, Especially because we were like wanting to win a championship there and stuff like that. So yeah, I stayed there 2 years. And then after that, I had like a lot of colleges reaching out to me, like a lot of D2s, some D1s, but Wanted to stay close to home for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was just like back then I think I was just wanting to be close to my family. So yeah, I chose Eastern, and Eastern was definitely, it was way different than
Yeah.
on-call because you when you go to JC, like, you just get your tuition paid for, but when you go to a tuition one, you're getting everything paid for. Like, I don't have to worry about my books, I don't have to worry about my food, I get all this gear, like, you're spoiled. Like, and it was, I think I would not, like, if I had to go back, I wouldn't change that route because I definitely became more gracious of things, like, because sometimes after games on call, we'd go to like a gas station. He'd be like, go get your dinner.
Yeah.
It was mostly like after losses though, like, um but yeah, when you go to like a D1, it's just, I think it's just an amazing experience. And definitely I think people are like that go there and never seen anything different. Like, it's kind of sad because sometimes they still want more, and
Right.
like, you don't even know what you have. Like, um, but yeah, it was cool. I did be I was sad because I was my goal was to be newcomer of the year when I was a
Okay.
junior, but it slipped between my fingers. And then my senior year, I was like oh, an honorable mention, but
Okay.
I think that it was it wasn't my favorite thing experience because I was kind of pushed into a position that I didn't want to be in. Because
Okay.
like, I'm a guard, like, I'm a big guard, and they kind of pushed me into the four position, which I wasn't a fan of. But besides that, like, my journey definitely made me into the person I am today. And also, I guess, yeah, my journey's so long. And so after that, I went overseas. Like, I started in Australia.
Okay.
Um, and then that was like the summer league. And then my first official European season was Portugal. And then I went to Finland my second year. And then this past season, I went to France. So right now, I don't have a contract. Um, I want to say it's because of the COVID situation.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of, even, really good players that don't have contracts. And I
Okay.
think it's just because, the money situation overseas is difficult. So we'll see. But I'm not really, you know, worried because I kind of enjoyed this time. I feel
Yes.
like I'm working on a lot of things. So
It's been able to be home. I know that that's something, it's a good thing. I think some people don't understand what it takes when you do go live your dreams overseas. You really give up everything. You know what I mean? Your family, a lot of times, just uh, the lifestyle that maybe he was used to. Just it's just different norms. The culture is different in other countries, and
no, for
so
sure.
you have to adjust to that. And so I think that's one of the hard things. But one thing I can say, when I had a chance to work out with you for the first time I did train you, you went so hard that I was like, yo, what I mean? I just only can think. I was like, man, if I would have met her in high school, you know what I mean? I wonder what could have happened. You know what I mean? Because your mindset, your mentality is definitely on that a different level. You know what I mean? You go real hard. And then once you play the game, you know what I mean? It's fun to watch, you know what I mean? For those who, especially if you're a basketball fan, it shouldn't be just men or women, you know what I mean? The respect is across the board, you know what I mean? And
Sure.
so to watch someone like yourself that plays so hard and at that level, it's definitely fun to watch. So what have been, I was have to say, the best out of all the teams or countries you've been at, as far as the competition or experience? What has been you some of your greatest experience uh, so far?
It's so hard to compare them because every country is so different. Um, I I had the opportunity to be a part of like when I went to Perth, Australia. I played in the All-Star game, and it's just amazing to be around, women who have like are just extremely talented, and it definitely just those are always fun. All-Star games are fun because you're just around people who um basically went through the same thing you did, and now you're all in the same place at the same time, and you're being, I guess, recognized for this, you know. The same thing with Portugal. I played an All-Star game, and it was super fun. But it's also not just Americans; it's like domestic players as well. So um, girls from like Portugal were in the game, and it's so weird because these girls, like, the way basketball is in other countries is a lot different than it is here, because they don't have like school ball or college ball. Like, they basically play what would be like AAU for like their whole lives. So they're
Okay.
playing each other and they know each other like their whole lives. And so I'm just like, you guys definitely should know how to defend each other. That's my first thing. Because you've been playing them for what, like a decade. But
Right.
yeah, it's just interesting to just like be an outsider coming into the environment and just um I don't know. I was always appreciative of the cultures and just learning about them, and I would try my best to like learn the simple phrases and stuff. It's always fun. They make fun of you for it, but I try. I think that I really when it's competition wise, I would say France was pretty competitive. Like,
Okay.
I was in, it's considered a lower division in their country, but France is so good, like all around,
Uh-huh.
that their lower division is actually like very good compared to like someone else's top.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, because I mean, like the France national team,
Uh-huh.
like they have, I can't even think of any names, but like you see the French national team in like the Olympics and stuff. And
Okay.
um, basically anybody you see in the Olympics, that means their country is good at basketball.
Right, right.
So it is just really cool to be, just every time I go to a different country, I just admire um, everything that they bring to the game, because it's always like a different style. Like, you see a lot of pick and roll action in France, and the basketball IQ is really good, and everything's kind of like slowed down. Um, Whereas when I played in Australia, I would say it was a little bit more physical. Girls
Okay.
are big and athletic, and it's different. But yeah, I don't know. It's good.
So
Um, yeah,
we
go ahead.
talk about the good parts, right? So what are some of the hard parts, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
I can go
you
on
know,
about that for
yeah,
days.
so
Because
you
everybody, when I tell people that I play overseas, they're always like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, you have no idea what I go through." Um, First of all, just the communication barriers, I guess. Like, I don't always um like, there's always some, what am I trying to say? Like, my teammates, they don't always speak English, basically. So, and luckily
okay.
basketball is a universal language. So, like, if you just think about Love and Basketball and that scene where she's like, "What did he say?" I'm like that. Like, that's real life. Like, what did the coach just
Okay.
say? So I'm asking my teammate who speaks English, like, what do they say? What do I do? What happened? Type stuff, like, all the time. Um, I've been fortunate to have coaches that speak English. Like, one year in Finland, he didn't speak a lot of English, so it's more like just guess and check. Hope you do what they say correctly. But for the most part, they just kind of let you go out there and do your thing. And if they need some type of, we have to verify something, that happens. But what else? It's not always the greatest living situations. I've had mold. I've had bed bugs. I've had, uh, yeah, I've had no heat. I've had no hot water. Yeah, it's not fun when that stuff kind of stuff happens because I don't know. I can't explain. I don't want to like talk bad about anybody, but it's just like they kind of just don't realize that we're here for 8 months sometimes, and
Right,
they
right.
that it just they yeah. I think they do their best, but at the end of the day, it's just like I don't know. I don't understand the thought process, but that's kind of something that you have to. That's what I've learned over the years is that that's something you have to like basically communicate with your agent. Well, I have an agent. Not everybody has agents, but like if you have someone
Okay.
who is in the middle, telling you like this is what they have to offer, and then they set a contract or they build a contract off that you have to basically tell them like I'm not going to settle for this. And if you get
Okay.
there and they don't live up to what they excuse me, what they said they were going to give you, then there's supposed to be an issue. They have to kind of just live up to that, or else you have the freedom to leave. And it's not always pretty, but at the end of the day, you have to understand your worth. And um, yeah, that's a whole different subject that I can go on about, but it's just like, uh, I guess with any type of job, like just make sure you're not being mistreated. Uh,
Right, right. Okay,
yeah.
okay. So yeah, I know. So that's you as a Hooper, right? So your background. So you as Ashley as a person, because I like for you to share some of those things, your things that you are looking to launch or as a businesswoman or you know what I mean endeavors. I've seen some of your drawings and things like that. So I would love to hear some more about that part of you.
Yeah, basically being overseas gives me a lot of downtime, so my imagination's always running wild. So yeah, I've always been very into art, like as a hobby. Yeah, drawing was my thing. I actually studied design when I went to Eastern, and
Okay.
it's just like I love being creative in general. So yeah, I draw and sometimes I do digital stuff, but for the most part, I just like to create things. So like lately or recently, I've like ventured into like putting it all together with clothing because I also have like a passion for you know, thrift shopping, basically just going out and getting like secondhand stuff and um, because I think ugh, fashion is just different. Like if as long as you have confidence in what you wear, you can like wear anything, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's a t-shirt from Goodwill. So I kind of just take that stuff and I customize it in my own way. And also I sometimes I throw my art on there and I called it AP's Closet. So actually I did have someone reach out to me and say and ask me if I wanted to be a vendor at a market in Seattle, September 12th. So I don't know if this is like an advertisement, but I will be at AP's Closet will have a booth at the Black Market Wealth
Okay.
or the Black Wealth Market in Seattle. Um, and I'll just have my inventory that I've had, and also I'll be taking orders and stuff if people want me to customize anything and stuff like that. But it's more of like something that is my side hustle. But also, I just got into I'm studying to be a personal trainer in the background. Um, yeah,
Uh,
just like Ashley. But I don't know if I just want to stick to basketball. I kind of just want to do a general thing where I'm just, strength and conditioning type rather than,
I would say do that. That's what I would recommend is to do. across the board, the strength and conditioning, because what happens, right, is that's what helps me to be set apart is I'm a strength and conditioning coach that can work with any athlete, or I can focus on skill training for basketball. You know what I mean? So I would
Right.
say do the strength and conditioning across the board because out here, especially in our area, it's not a lot of trainers that, especially young trainers, who can do that. You know what I mean? And I think that that'd be a great market and just your who you are and your passion. The basketball, that'd just be extra for you. You know what I mean? So, okay, you want to learn skills? I'll teach you that. But strength and conditioning, now you can have old, young, no matter what, whatever, sports, weight loss, just give you more options. So
No,
that's
for
what I
sure.
recommend to do that.
Yeah.
And how, as far as somebody wanting to reach you, you know what I mean, if they want to order something like gear and stuff, how could they find you?
Well, right now my inventory is really just on Instagram. I haven't um gone through the effort of putting it on Facebook or any type of website or anything. I don't know if people know what Depop is. It's like an app, like a buying and selling app where kind of similar to like Etsy. Um so it'd be, I don't know if you can like, if I can like give you the links and stuff later, but it's depop.com
Yeah.
slash my name is Easy Money Ash with a Z. I also, yeah, if you have Instagram, it's just AP's Closet, APEEZ Closet. And then I eventually am trying to get on Facebook, but I don't like social media like that, so I'm lazy. But I'm definitely going to try to announce the fact that I will have a booth in Seattle, and then I'll probably transition to like putting more of my inventory online. Um, so it's kind of just in the works. It's not really like, I'm just going winging it type stuff. It's not super organized right now, but yeah. Um, and yeah,
That'd be the part. In a sense, when I say that is, you have enough people like myself and others around you that can help you on that part. Just the back end, you know what I mean? And that's like I was saying, just I've just been watching you and the things that you've been posting and seeing your talent and things like that. I'm like, oh, okay, that's every now and then I'll pop up, call you out and say, hey, Ash, let's do this together. Let's do that
yeah,
together. And
yeah.
so,
Everything's really inconsistent right now, but I'm sure this is, like you said, it's a good time for us to like, double down and get things done. Um,
yes.
yeah. And also, yeah, I'm supposed to start helping Ashley. I'm supposed to start helping you with some trainings. So maybe I can be out there with you and meet some of your kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that is the hope and the goal is to help transition. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, the idea for me is I want to be able to travel, you know what I mean, have other locations and just do other things. And so I was trying to find a team up here that can help to, the demand is growing, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, if I find the right, trainers and coaches to come in and plug them in, I think that'd be a great thing. Like, we talk about if these things were in place, like when you was in school, you know what I mean? How could that help? And so that's how I look at it now, saying, okay, you're a resource. You have a lot of, guys who and girls who have experience who went on to play college or overseas, and they live in the community or at least they visit. You know what I mean? So what kind of resources can we pull and help change and give our young folks, an opportunity as well? So yeah. So let's see, anything else? Oh, so give me, you don't have to go into all details or anything like that, but just your thoughts on what's happening in society today from, the pandemic, you have the Black Lives Matter movement, I mean, just things like that. What are some of your takes on, especially being in the younger generation? You know what I mean? For myself, I'm, in my 40s, and so it's different, you know what I mean? And so for your generation to see everything that's going on and how things are happening. Just, nothing you have to, I'm not looking fishing for anything, but just give you a chance to just speak on anything that may be on your mind about what's happening.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's so hard because I have so many opinions on that situation. So, yeah, regarding the pandemic, I just hope that people, stay as safe as possible. I was in France when everything was starting, and it was insane to see the reaction time of the
Oh, wow.
situation. Basically, they said stay inside. Everybody, like, the streets were clear. When I was outside, people were wearing masks. There was security policing the area. Like, it was serious. And now France is good. Like, my friend just went there to play, and pretty much everything's back to normal. But it's also like so hard to compare a country as small as France to America, like, because every state is like its own country. So like I don't think that we should, be so hard on ourselves, I guess. We should just try to do what we can, and maybe just, you know, um I guess stay safe. So I can say about that. Um and also regarding the other thing. Yeah, Black Lives Matter is just that I think that the biggest thing we can do is just support each other, locally,
Okay.
small business and stuff like that. Like, I think that, okay, it's a little overwhelming seeing so much when, it was like really big on social media, just saying, you should donate to this, to this, to this, but it's also kind of like misleading when you don't know exactly where your money's going to. So if you like, I put a post on Facebook one time about just like how I found this Black owned bookstore in Seattle, and I shared it with people, and I said, I know a lot of people read, so like if you're trying to support Black businesses and stuff, like try to do that. Like, go away from Amazon. Um, just support local Black businesses is my biggest thing, and not just Black businesses, like small, anything like that. Like, we should be fueling our own communities. And I think that's what I love about you, is that like everything you do is like for your community. And like, same for me, like I want to be able to give Bremerton a name, and bring people up in my own community, because I know that I would struggled so much, like just finding connections, networking, and getting to where I am. Like, I'm sure I could have got to where I am a lot faster if I had that support system and stuff like that. So hopefully people recognize like what you're doing and like reach out and stuff. um so yeah, that's that.
And that's one of the things I appreciate you. Like I said, when I first started, with my team and everything, of course, me not being from here, some people probably was wondering, what's going on. It's a minor league, what's, team, what's happening. And I think after a while, people begin to see just how bought in I was for the community, you know what I mean? And just start to see the impact that it was beginning to have. And so now, like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm looking for like in a sense, as we say, pass the torch. You know what I mean? It's saying that, okay, you're somebody who's young, who's from out here, who understands, who has a great mind, great vision. So saying, hey, you know, after a while, eventually the kids ain't gonna think I'm cool. You know what I mean? Then, I want to be that old person and still try to wear the sweatsuit and be young. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, let's go ahead and grab, you know, persons like yourself, and the next generation that's growing up, and begin to put y'all in position to lead. You know what I mean? And help y'all. Here's a platform for y'all to speak and do these things and make a change. And so that's pretty much what's happening with the admirals and everything that we're trying to do. Is just continue to be a blessing to others, and create platforms for yourself and whoever else that may be interested in really giving back to the community. But yeah, so we definitely have to talk offline on getting you the training. You know what I mean? So because I have some training coming up. I have definitely a couple of girls that I'm looking at could really use what you can bring your knowledge to the game, so they can have that as well. And then of course I know you can work with boys as well, so I bring you across. I want to show you, have the skills definitely with the growth, but I'm happy to bring you into the gym with me when we start doing personal training, so I can show you some of that as well. So if you switch over and go into that, uh, you just have some knowledge and some understanding of some things and just some hands-on. Um, but I'm not gonna hold you. If once again, I thank you for giving up your time and just jumping on an interview with me. Once again, let the folks know how they can follow you, and make sure that you put a flyer or something out, some kind of promotion, and then I promote it about you being over in Seattle. So
Right.
make sure you get that done.
Okay, so you can add me on Facebook, Ashli Payne, but spelled with an I. It's ASHLI and then PAYNE. And you can follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there at Easy Money Ash with a Z. And you can also see my links to my art page and my AP's closet page. It's right there in my bio. Um, Also, I wanted to mention before the booth in Seattle, I am hosting, well, not me, but I'm helping a friend host a school supplies drive. I'll put more information somewhere, but the job location will be at Snap Fitness where I work, across Fred Meyer. So you can either contact me through social media or because I'm willing to go pick up supplies or whatever, or you can drop it off. I'll set up a box. Probably tomorrow, the box will be set up just outside the entrance, just to help, kids around the area who don't have, school supplies due to the pandemic. And also, yeah, the booth. So it's called the the Black Wealth Market. It'll be in Seattle at the Jimi Hendrix Park on September 12th. And I will have a AP's Closet booth set up along with a lot of other, Black businesses who will be there just, with their product and whatever they have going on. So yeah, I think that's something, if you guys are going to step out of the house, you should definitely go to. So I think
So
that's it.
make sure you make sure you give me send me the information on the supply drive, because I have other businesses that I work with that I know will get behind it, and we can help
Great. That's
raise
awesome.
things. So send it to me. I get it to my people. We're blasted, and we get behind you.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome, Ashley. All right. I will be talking to you offline so we can continue to get things together from a business standpoint. But thank you for your time. And as soon as the video, everything get edited and ready to go, I'll make sure I'll let you know when it goes out.
Sure. That's dope. Thank you.
Uh, you're welcome. Thank you, Ash. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.